the COVID scenario has brought in another word in the house, which is called virtual. We say everything turned out to be virtual, right? Even a year back, even the events and the shows were happening virtual. And that's where we got this term, virtual universe. So virtual reality is something that offers new ways of telling stories that were not possible before. Virtual reality technology has the potential to revolutionize several industries. With VR, they can create immersive experience that allow viewers to feel like they are a part of the scene. So this can lead to a more engaging experience. And in this fireside chat, the speakers intend to discuss on how virtual reality gives us an immersive experience. And I believe this is going to be really interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, let me invite the moderator, Mr. Deepu S. Nath, the Managing Director of FAYA Innovations Private Limited, and the guest speaker, we have Mr. Nikhil Chandran, the founder and CEO, Tilt Labs. So let's give a big round of applause to both of them. And over to you both. So here we start the fireside chat.
Yeah. Good evening, all. So we have, I think it is a little bit delayed, so we will move a little bit faster. So NASTech, yeah. So NASTech mostly want to talk on why business need to adapt the new technologies, right? And here is one of the most relevant topic on metaverse. And luckily we have Nikhil here, who is one of the early adopters of metaverse and AR/VR technologies from Kerala. And let's welcome him. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepu. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, NASCOM, to have me here. And I hope everybody having a great evening. So myself, Nikhil, and I founded Tilt Labs 7 years back with the dream of putting the technology out together and bringing everybody into a virtual reality, augmented reality. So we are one of the early adopters of virtual reality and augmented reality. We started with games, eventually ventured into AR/VR based enterprise solutions, started workforce training using AR/VR. Then it gives us a lot of opportunities, work with enterprise customers and use that funds to fund our own dreams of bringing games and bringing everybody together to play that collaborative games. Then the COVID situations opened up another solutions like bringing event solutions in the 3D, where everybody could have a 3D world to interact in a virtual environment. So a lot of solutions which we have built, and lastly we started building metaverses for the enterprises as well as entertainment customers. A couple of them are launched, and here we have to talk about it. Over to you.
Yeah. So Sujit was mentioning about we have to have tech in action, and I think like most of you had already visited the experience center that Nikhil has set up for you on the virtual world. So the question here is metaverse, whether it is a hype or a reality, right? So a lot of hypes are happening around ChatGPT. How many of you have tried ChatGPT? How was it? Okay, so still we wonder like whether it is a hype or whether it is going to transform the entire thing. Similarly, metaverse also is something that we have a lot of hype that is going around. So let us try to demystify it. So Nikhil. Yeah. So what is a metaverse landscape? Could you please just tell in a common terms?
So by talking about simply the metaverse, it's another set of a .com. When the .com comes, everybody have a 2D representation of their websites, black and white, and eventually it become images, then become videos, then become more interactive chats. So like that, when you talk about metaverse, it's kind of 3D representation of your online .com within a much more interactive and collaborative way. In terms of having you and your virtual space, like your virtual customers or your interacting with some spaces where you can talk with us, interact with us, and also giving you different media to give a different have a web browser to have a minimalistic experience over the 3D world, controlled by a network that communicates with as well as very hands-on way of, long back always there is a metaverse, like GTA is a metaverse, Fortnite is a metaverse. It's open up a different world of music ecosystems. And now the virtual reality headsets, which makes more comfortable to have an immersive and more interactive feeling inside that, which brings to your hand, feels, lifting everything through that to have a digital avatar. So it's more of a home metaverse.
Normally, I was talking to many people here on what are the questions on metaverse. Like people were thinking like it is mostly, yeah. It, whether it is a virtual world that we go and buy some spaces, location, whether it will be able to transfer to another metaverse, or whether multiple metaverse exist, etc. A lot of such type of questions happen, and what he was trying to explain is like it is nothing different. Just like we had website, we were interacting with a 2D world. Now people want to get into the 3D, right? Interact with three-dimensional things. And as of today, like metaverse make it happen. So the question is, like we listen to Facebook metaverse or Microsoft coming up with things. So whether these are different worlds that exist and we have our own assets in there.
So definitely, there are Decentraland, there is Horizon. Previously, there was a Second Life. There is a Sandbox. So there are a lot of companies are bringing these kind of platforms together, and every platform is going to be interoperability. Like you can connect with each platform that's going to come up. That's what my feel of metaverse. And there will be a lot of people. Even now, we have a website for our company, right? So what we do is like we will put all the images and solutions and everything. Assume there is an HR company wanted to showcase their HR profiles. So they will have a 3D world and their intro, everything will happen through a 3D world HR and they can log in normally as it is. And authentication can do the blockchain stuff and all, which we can do a lot of other things inside that. So from my perspective, there will be a lot of metaverses, and it's going to be interconnected through some kind of APIs and communication protocols. Like metaverse forums, kind of a lot of standard forums are bringing together, like when IoT started, the protocols issues were long, right? In how the device should be interconnected. So like that, there are, gray areas. Now I think the forums are putting together the standard protocols to interact with these kind of metaverses, and there will be a lot of these kind of applications. Everybody is going to have a 3D representation of your world inside the virtual world. I mean the .com world.
Okay, so this is what you are talking about, the future. What we can expect is like there will be something like each person will have their own metaverse that they own it, just like a website that we own.
Miniatures of that, like
Okay.
there will be platform providers like Spatials, Decentraland, Sandbox. They provide tools and technologies to put your space inside this 3D world and connect with your solutions and all. At the same time, you can have your own, small 3D representations and small interactions like collaborative systems by your own tech solutions. It won't represent that much, but there are limitations. But you can also provide your own 3D representations in better way.
Okay.
And when the big players would do, there will be gamifications interacted. There will be communication will be more strong. So we started developing this kind of metaverse solution to the people. So they don't want a bigger representation. Now they are using this as a buzzword in the industry. They always wanted these kind of words to be associated with their brands to showcase they are in the first. So, but there are solutions coming up. We work with leading car companies. Their upcoming solutions for the sales of the car or representation of the cars is going to coming up. Fans going to get into this metaverse and hang out together and talk about this kind of cars and manufacturing kind of thing. Similarly, in the other educational area, the New Learn could have a metaverse their own where people would gather, and the group of people will gather in one specific area and do that. So it's like a chat system in a 3D representation, but moreover like a more emotions to your expressions.
Okay, you started with games,
Yeah.
then came into AR, VR, and now into metaverse.
Yeah.
So is it really the time for us to step into metaverse, or it is too early for us to be there?
I could say we can start adopting things. Eventually, it will scale up as it is normally. When we starting the AR VR, it is very hard to convince the customers or anybody who could adopt that. It was really expensive gadgets like 2.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs for the entire setup. Now it's come to a 30 lakhs of Oculus Quest, 30,000 for the Oculus Quest. So see, in last 3 to 4 years, how the pricing of entire system will come down. Similarly, everything will start adopting, and everything will be acceptable kind of thing. And when we start gaming is a huge market, but very hard to get into that. So there are a lot of data-driven decisions to be made. Understand the players, how they click, how they play, and everything. So we are forced to adopt some other mechanics to fund our games. So we build the skill set around 3D, data, communication, and the Unity and Unreal engines, which help us to leverage the technology of metaverse, because these technologies are used. The 3D is used, different LOD levels, like level of details is used to create the metaverse. So these help us to venture into this metaverse quickly and deliver things. And it's like a reusing of a lot of our components which we already built. So that helps us to leverage and get into the market quickly. Same way, any other companies could understand this and get into the market as early as possible. So adoption rate is very high.
So you think like it is the time for companies to step into it?
Yeah.
Into the metaverse or AR, VR?
So it's a better representation of their solutions and things, and better representation of their communication to the end users or customers they visit.
And for example, you just initially started with talking about websites. We interacted with 2D systems and getting into 3D systems.
Yeah.
So what is the interface between a user and a metaverse system? So can you talk about the tools?
Yeah, the user could use different methods and texts based on the experience level you want. See, primarily everybody have to use their browsers to browse and see minimalistic experiences. The browser have their own limitations to put it together in front of you. And some people will be okay with that. They can navigate, they can go through, they can interact, they can search, everything you can do. But when it comes to have more experiences, you can have customized app, and you can download your machine or your phone or anything, which give you more quality level of feeling. Like browser have a rendering quality of minimalistic, you know its capacity. And when it comes to a app, it will have more capacity. When it comes to VR, here comes your immersive experience, where you interact with a real-size person and in a different world with a different ambience, which gave you more connection and interactions. And there are suits, there are tech, like recently Sony announced their sensors to connect something similar to the AirTag, which attach to their nodes, and it's like a mobile. You can connect your mobile and get a VR experience. So you can bring your motions into movements into the VR experience. So that kind of stuff you can do.
Okay.
So there are nowadays it's like web, mobile, and VR headsets. That is the medium you can access it based on the experience and quality level.
And is there something that you could wear and have
there
the
are
experience?
Solutions. There are solutions, and you can create your own avatars. There is a platform called ReadyMePlay where you can snap your photos and you can create your own 3D avatar and use inside a different metaverse like Sandbox, Decentraland, and also Spaces and all.
So you can get towards the experiences that you cannot get in the real world. That is, if you want to fly, that is, you can get into your metaverse and get the experience of flying.
Yeah, exactly. Like, in normal world, whatever things which we dream on the normal world, can dream in the metaverse. Like you can be a bird, you can fly and see how things are looking in like a helicopter view or like a bird's eye view, or you can jump into the different. So the creators and the consumers, like the experience, whatever you call it, the creators will create their massive experiences, and the people who consume that will have different set of feeling when they go into the metaverse. That's all. Like in Fortnite, the Kochi brought a lot of visual elements into that, and it was a very good interactions. Like people get a real experience on different level of musical experience.
Okay. And for the students, there are also some students out here and young professionals for them to get into this metaverse technologies. What are the technologies that they have to learn? And
see, first of all, it could categorize it too. There could be an artistic or skill level who can design the entire visual elements of metaverse or design the gamification of metaverse, as well as the tech elements where they can learn the technical things like communication, chats, backend systems and all to do that. So front end, you can call it as Unity and Unreal would be nice. Or you can use a 3JS kind of technical things to learn that and put it in a web browser. Backend, similarly, whatever you do in the Python or Java, whatever things which you are doing can be reused, like a API kind of thing. Similarly, like a packaging the front end in a different way.
For your information, that is thinking about metaverse, it is not that complex. It is just like if you think about a website, it has a front end and a back end. Here, the front end is in 3D. Like you have to learn certain technologies that help you to create that thing, and the logic and algorithm resides in the back end.
Exactly. And here you can bring a lot of other elements like AI and digital humans or digital twins. A lot of things can be brought in. It's not simple as the website, but more opportunities or options are available for you to present your skills into the different angle.
And for the companies, is there anything that as an early adopter of this thing, any advice to getting into that?
Yeah,
business?
we are working with companies to put their HR onboarding in a metaverse, as it is a remote thing. We are working with companies to put it their sales perspective in the metaverse. We are working with companies to sell their futuristic dream of building large buildings and worth trillions into the metaverse and give the buyers into that feeling. So a lot of things are happening, which I can't tell mostly, but even the number one Italian car company is into this. Their metaverse is going to come soon.
And then you are doing Los Angeles and all on movie industry. So
Yes.
what is happening there? I had heard about virtual production, which you were involved in Malayalam movie like Burrows and all.
Yeah.
So what is happening there?
The primary tech which Twilf Labs normally does is like 3D, Unity and Unreal, game engines. My dream when we started after resigning my full-time job from my in-app is to start this both technology and art together. So for that, we built very good 3D artists and very good designers, creators and everybody. And now we grown into one member team in different aspects. So talking about virtual production, what we did is like we adopted Unreal technology and used camera tracking and different technical aspects and use that to create high quality visuals like this with minimal amount of time, like workflow designing. Use high-end programming skills and automations as well as 3D, where hundreds of people required previously could do in 20-member team with short period of time. This dragon, which you are seeing, is done in 2 weeks' time with less team members' time to showcase the entire thing. So also the meta-human pipelines, like use the character for millions with real human features and all. We could work Ajay and Randam Mosham, like it is directed by Jitin Lal, Tovino Thomas movie. We did entire previews for that movie in a script, and we read the script and did entire previews, which helped the directors to understand the concepts which they envision in a real time, as well as we could able to work with Barus for the facial expressions and all through another studio from Thailand called Supreme Studios. When another VS supervisor Bing, he's the supervisor for XXX movies and all, work with Vin Diesel and all. So we now work with LA-based studios for their visual production needs and tech and workflows.
And it is just like going to transform the
Film industry.
Like people are going to like it is cost effective as well as normally in our film industry, like computer graphics means cutting the rope and blast. These are the two things that is used in the graphics normally, but this is going to transform the industry.
Yeah, this is going to transform the industry in many ways. How the storyteller use this tech to pre-visualize entire thing before starting the entire project, understanding a specific location and scan it using LiDAR scanning, and then place the placeholders where how they are going to shoot in that specific, like it will be a crowded area. This could able to them to plan it, and they could have a large LED wall and load this content and put the team members in the front of them shooted it. Lot of things are happening.
So if I want to shoot in Munnar, like the artists do not need to go to Munnar. They just take the pre-visuals and come there, and artists will be in the studio.
Virtual sets, like it will be covered completely with LED walls with a small physical presences, like recreating the landscape. Then everything will be there, and the shift with a click, the location will be shifted.
Okay, and then let's go to audience questions really quick. We are running out of time. So, any questions on metaverse? Okay. So, it is mostly adapting the changes, right? All these things are moving very fast, and to adapt these type of changing, like community of practice is the key. It is not like we will not be able to go and learn everything on a single day and get towards this thing. And actually, NASCOM, FAYA TT is starting a community on metaverse, and Nikhil TidLab is also associating with us. If anybody want to continuously learn and engage with conversations in metaverse, you can feel free to join, and Sujit will be coordinating on that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you all.
Yes, thanks a lot. And that was more like a very interesting topic, virtual reality. And